Hey guys, welcome to the next segment where now we're going to get into swags. I hear so much about swags and how to create them, how to get them looking neat. So I'm here to show you all about it. Not only will we be playing with swags, but guess what? We're also going to be playing with pattern fabric. So this is one of the key things that can easily take your backdrops to the next level because you hardly see it. You don't really see backdrops or any kind of draping with pattern fabric. So I'm going to show you that as well as how to attach a valance the easiest way possible so you don't have to really get caught up in the hand mechanisms. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so now once you assembled your base layer, you got everything measured out properly. Now it's time to move on to your crossbar hangers. Now we are using 3" for the sake of this double panel backdrop, double layer backdrop, because we don't need that much depth. So although these do come 6", 9", and 12", be sure that the further out you use is based upon your design. You only want to use the longer units or the longer crossbar hangers if you're hanging heavier or more wider elements such as chandeliers and things like that. So since we're not doing that, we're going to use the short ones, and be sure that you stick them in with the angle going down. Very often, a lot of my students stick them this way and then kind of get confused as to why things aren't matching up. So just rule of thumb, the point goes down. You're going down in the upright, right? So just stick that in there. And then you also want to use this middle notch. It's 3 notches in each crossbar hanger. Use the middle for perfect balance. Stick that one in. And now it's time to attach our crossbar. You should already have your crossbar measured out. Mine is measured out to 8 feet. So you just want to stick it in one of those slots, whatever slots you're using. Be mindful to use the same exact one on the opposite end. Just like that. Now from this point, now you are going to assemble your drape. Now, the easiest way to do this so you don't really waste a lot of time with trying to figure out the pattern, I am assembling my drape in reverse. So I know I want my yellow in the middle, right? So meaning I am going to lay my drape out on the floor in the opposite pattern that I want it to be on the backdrop. So let's just say the backdrop, I want it to be yellow, green, blue, pink. So on the floor, I'm going to lay it down in the opposite direction so I could just pick up, thread, pick up, thread, pick up, thread, and it's all in the right direction. So let's get started. So if you remember, you're going to nestle your crossbar into the nape of your neck and just begin to pick up your drape. If you are draping with panels that you have purchased, again, key reminder is to make sure that your seam is facing the back so you do not, you don't want to risk any tags being visible. Good thing about these are part of my homemade collection. This was a part of fabric. I've just purchased bolts of fabric, and actually I used witch stitchery on these like I showed you guys in module 2. Also keep in mind, I am using, and this will all be in the description below, I am using all stretch fabric for the colors. Some designs I do use a mixture, but for this design, I want you guys to really focus on the valance. So I'm using fabric that has an easier draping technique. Just kind of get it all moved over. It looks beautiful already. Also, you want to notice, we're going to cover color patterns in detail a little further in the course, but you want to notice how my colors are transitioning. Yellow is kind of going into green, green is going into blue, and then I have my pop of color on the end, which is the fuchsia. Almost complete. 2 more panels. And also be mindful that these are not sheer, so they're not 10 feet wide panels. So I'm not following the rule of thumb of 1 per foot. I know I want it to be full. These are very, very dense, heavy fabrics. Although they're short, 54 inches in width, I'm using a little more than 1 per foot. Okay. Last piece. Then you want to replace your crossbar on the upright. Then you're going to go over to the other side and do the same exact thing. Now, like I told you guys before, if you want to kind of speed this process up, I normally would layer all of my drape right there in my forearm. Some people leave them in a tote, kind of close by on a table. You can do it so many ways. You're going to develop whatever is easier for you and create shortcuts and all that kind of stuff. Last 2. Okay, get that baby on, and then attach your crossbar back to your upright. Okay, so if you remember from this point, now we have all of our drape on, everything except our valance. The valance is going to go absolutely last. So the next thing you have to do, what? Tell me below. Psych. Next thing you're going to do is measure out your panels. Make sure all of your color sections is the same as far as the width. Okay guys, so now once you have all of your panels equally lined up, you measured it out, you make sure everything was even. And an example, if you kind of skipped over module 2, you know how you guys do. Rule of thumb is you want to make sure this blue is the same width as this blue, right? You want to make sure that this green is the same width as this green. This pink is the same width as this pink, and you want to make sure that this yellow lines right up in the middle. So now we are going to attach our valance. So those that have a lot of difficulty with this, I'm going to show you how to do this with a very delicate fabric, something that's really easy to kind of attach to a backdrop, and there's not a lot of hand mechanics involved. It's easy peasy. We want to do things the simplified way possible and, you know, keep our sanity, right? So we are going to make these colors pop and kind of all blend together with a nice printed fabric. So I know you guys probably haven't seen many backdrops with printed fabric. So key indicator is this is one of the precise ways that you guys can stand out from what everyone else is doing, right? Everyone else is kind of sending to solid colors and, you know, now everyone's on stretch. You can take it up a notch and go get you some printed fabric, okay? So the first thing you want to do is find your middle, right? I've located my middle right here. And all you want to do is extend your fabric. You want to take a safety pin, which you should have in your fanny pack. And you just want to kind of pin it to the fabric. Now, this is only for the sake of keeping it on the backdrop. You're not trying to make it perfect right about now. You're not trying to do anything other than secure it to the backdrop. So you just stick it through and through. So I don't want you to get, you know, I don't want you to be alarmed if you kind of see something like that. It's totally fine. We'll fix that as we go along. So only thing you're going to do is bring your panel all the way over to the opposite end. Look at those colors. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? So you want to bring it all the way over, and you want to kind of pull this over your design and let it rest on your upright. Then what you want to do is you want to take your other safety pin and you want to kind of just secure it to the upright. Again, no specific way, nothing fancy schmancy, just get it on there, right? So what I've done is took the safety pin and I stuck it through the slot at the top of the upright and just hooked it together. So now we're going to go to the other side to kind of start our whole valance process, right? So you want to just pull this side over where it should be, and you're going to take the end of the edge of your fabric, again, go over the upright. You're just kind of resting it up there, nothing spectacular. Right now, what you're looking for is to have your panel completely flat, like a bed sheet or something, right? No wrinkles, none of that. You don't necessarily want to worry about this because the pin is kind of making that off-centered, and we're going to, you know, take that out shortly. But at this point, this is the beauty, y'all. This is the magic. It's about to happen, so pay close attention. All you're going to do is go to the bottom of your fabric and just raise it up. Just like that. Now, if this isn't easy peasy, I don't know what is. It's no pleating. It's nothing like that. Now, if I haven't mentioned, this fabric right here, it is a stretch blend, which is why it's so easy to pleat. From this point, all you're going to do is take your pipe cleaner, secure it around your fabric, just like this. Give it a nice twist. 1, 2. Then you want to attach it to your upright. Now at this point, only thing you're doing is sticking the pipe cleaners through the slots and just giving it a good twist or two to kind of secure it there. And then that There's nothing's happening. It's not going anyplace. It's totally secure. Then again, you want to take your excess fabric and kind of drape it over as if it was a cape, right? This is a premium backdrop, guys, so you got to treat it like it's premium. And guess what premium replicates? Royalty, and royalty wear capes. So make sure your backdrop has a cape just like that. You're going to do the same exact thing on the other side, just as you release your pin, because now you want to be sure that you don't have any sagging here. You want to kind of toss that over there and then continue with your pleating. So now you're going to release your safety pin, take that out, and you're going to do the same exact thing. Just hold your fabric taut, right? So you don't have any sagging, anything. You should not see anything across the top other than your fabric. And then you're going to do the same thing. Pick it up. No pleating, not a lot of guesswork. Don't overcomplicate things. Just let it do what it do. Voila! That's the most simplified way to add a valance, right? Then again, take your pipe cleaner, secure it around where your knot is. Just give it a good twist, 1, 2, nothing, not too much. Then secure it to the backdrop by attaching it to the upright. Give it a good twist, 1, 2. Create your cape because your backdrop is royalty. You guys see where I'm going with this thing? Those colors are amazing. If for some reason you feel that this is like your flap may come down, because sometimes it do, what you could do very easily so you ensure that it doesn't move is you can stick a stick pin in there. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. So you just want to get yourself a pearl tip stick pin. I like pearl tips because they're visible. When you use the other kind of stick pins, you can't see them, and guess what happens? You get stuck. So get yourself some pearl tip pins and just make sure that your fabric, see that? It doesn't move, right? So at this point, we are like done the basics, the foundational work. So now we're going to raise, getting into some different swags and some different designs and making this baby really pop. Check that out. So now it's time to raise. And again, a thing I mentioned before, we're going about 11 feet tall. So you don't want to max out on one side because you're going to risk your backdrop tipping and falling. So you just want to go up some and then shimmy over to the other way, the other side. Go up on this end. So once you have everything exactly at the height that you want, now we're going to get into some swags. And for the first design, I want you guys to kind of look at some magic that's about to take place. So right now we have all our fabric on the backdrop, right? But you still can create various different designs. So we're going to get into some various different designs that you can do when you're using different colors and different textures, different patterns, all that good stuff. So starting out, we just want to do a simple 2 swag design. That's the basic way to do it. And then we're going to get a little more further into something super sexy. Like I mentioned, guys, we are going to do a basic double swag. So it's only going to be 2 swags, 1 on each end. I'm getting my pipe cleaners all squared away. And I'm actually going to be, since I'm not doing anything in the middle, I'm actually just going to be using the 3-foot markers because that way it'll be even on both sides. So the good thing about this fabric here, you guys are going to love this fabric because it's not a lot to the pleating, right? You just kind of, you can, but it's not going to make much of a difference. So I'm going to kind of do both techniques to kind of show you guys the difference. So move your pole cover out the way, and then you're going right here, so that's exactly where your hand should be, and then you just pleat. Wait a minute, there we go. You see your pleats forming, And at this point, you guys are in a further module, so you probably is kind of picking up your pace a little bit with the whole pleating technique. So you're probably going a little faster, something like this. And since this is really kind of thin fabric and it's more, you know, durable, it's not going to really fall out your hand like sheer does, you can kind of, you know, play with more fabric as opposed to securing each one to the upright. Kind of just keep on going there. Make sure that's tucked in. So now I would secure that one to my upright. And now that you guys are getting into heavier fabric, sometimes it's key to take two of your pipe cleaners and tie them together. That way it's a lot longer. Because if you try and ruffle, you know, with all this fabric with just one, it's a good chance you're going to lose it. Check your pleating. Now see, I'm not really happy with that, so I would rather just take it out, start over to ensure my pleats are neat. Okay, now continue on. Continue on. Make sure you're closing up the gaps. You don't have any gaps there. Your fabric is meeting. No one should know where you have a new panel begin. Tuck that one in. I'm going to keep going. Close up my gaps. Then you just secure it all to the upright. Again, I'm using two pipe cleaners that's tied together because this is a lot of fabric. So I want to be sure I don't lose my pleats. Then you just kind of do the same exact thing on the other side. Move your pole cover out the way. So once you get quicker, your skills kind of adapt. It's going to look something like this. Then you pick up your next piece. Then your next piece. Make sure that each new panel is folding inward. Then I will secure those to the upright. Then continue on. Bring it over here. Then your last piece. Then again, just secure that to your upright. Now, once you finish all of your pleats, you pretty much is just going to go look for imperfections, clean up whatever it is you need to clean up, But that's pretty much it. That's the beauty of working with this kind of fabric. If you remember, you want to make sure, get down here and make sure your bottom, your colors are reflecting what's happening up top. Then give all that like a good tuck. This is not sheer fabric, so it's not going to quite rest like an Easter dress, but still you should have a nice poof. Everything should be neat. All your hardware is covered up. We do that on both sides. Then finish it off with some nice tie wraps, tie backs. You could use bling, you could use any one of these colors to kind of make it pop. Straighten out your gig line, which would be your black. Making sure that's all neat. Again, I'm just going to use some bling mesh just to kind of make these pop a little bit, give it some kind of pizzazz. Stick a pin in it. Then go to the other side. So there you pretty much have it. That is a basic double panel with a valance, and you actually can take this a step further, like I'm going to show you further along in the course. But for right now, this is how you would do this backdrop. Now you can pair this with frames, any kind of embellishments like a chandelier. You could use crystal curtains. You could use so many other elements to kind of make this pop. And I'm going to actually show that to you guys in the next module. But now I'm going to show you how this can actually become a little more romantic. Right now, these are called, this is pretty much a straight A-line design. Straight A-line because, you guessed it, it's shaped like an A. It's really straight, it's really even, it's really tight, it's really clean. When you want something that's a little more elegant, you want something that's a little more romantic, then you get into a deeper swoop. So now, you can make the choice on how you want to design yours. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, and then you kind of get creative in your own. Hey guys, so now when you're trying to create a deeper swoop, something more romantic, all you're going to do is take apart maybe 2 to 3 panels, no more than that, because this is still going to stay just as it is. So you just want to release your pipe cleaner, just like that. Let them go. You know, you're going to kind of redesign that. And then get back to the pleating process. So you want to just get the edge of your fabric, bring it exactly to where you want it to go. Make your marker, meaning hold it exactly where it needs to be. Then you just want to lift it up, right? And then just grab from the bottom. Just like that. Make sure the pleats are kind of as deep or as loose as you want them. Then secure it to your backdrop. And you want to do this for each color. since they are more loose, I highly wouldn't suggest you to grab more than one panel at a time. So same thing for your next panel. You just want to bring it exactly where it needs to go. Make your mark. Then you just want to lift it up so that you can grab it from the bottom. And then just let it naturally do what it's going to do on its own. Then you just secure it. Get your pipe cleaner. Give it a twist or two. Same thing for your next piece. Make sure you're closing in the gap. Make your mark. And then just bring it on in. Go all the way down. Come up, come up, come up. Just like that. Now once you get to this point, you more than likely will need 2 pipe cleaners that are tied together. So it could be wide enough, or long enough rather. Then for your last piece, same exact thing. Bring it exactly where you want it to go. And just let it come on in naturally. Let them pleats fall in there. It's not a lot of work on your behalf. And that's pretty much it. Once you have everything secure, now you want to go in and clean up. So main thing I'm looking for now is any kind of empty spots such as this. Any kind of pleating, the edging may be coming out or anything like that. They're the things you want to kind of take your time, take your extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's going to make a huge difference in the ending part of your design. And just start perfecting things, right? So if you're trying to fix something up here, remember, go down the bottom, and all you do is you locate the error, you pull on it to find where it is, and then you pull back in the opposite direction. Kind of tighten things up. Get all that closed in. Anything that's maybe a little too loose, just kind of tighten it up. Again, look for your seams, make sure nothing is sticking out. If you need to tuck anything, kind of hide it away, this is your time to do so. Once you see everything and it is kind of like polished how you want it to be, then you're going to secure your tie back and everything on this side is done. You do the same thing on the opposite side. So normally if you're doing something like it's really deep, really heavy, your gather is going to be bigger than normal. So I highly suggest you use something extra long. If you're trying to use maybe the pre-made or prefabricated ones that has the Velcro, 9 times out of 10 it's going to pop. So I highly suggest you invest in some of these bling wraps. That way you can make the adjustment according to whatever you need. So you just want to kind of get that in there. Make sure your pipe cleaners are all kind of hidden. Push down any extra ones that may be a little exposed. Just get it nice and tight. Secure it with a pin. And again, I'm using the pearl tip pin. Clean up your bottom. That's always standard rule of thumb. And that's the difference with a straight A line, right? A straight A line, swoop, and this is a really deep romantic swoop. So this you kind of would go for if you're trying to create an atmosphere that is romantic. Normally it's at weddings or anything that's very feminine, real posh, real chic. This is more events that's more stoic, more maybe corporate or anything like that, where everything is kind of clean lines, straight lines, and it's really simple, simplicity. If you're going for simplicity, go for this. If you're going for extravagant, kind of romantic, you go for this, okay? So that is how you create the two different swags. One is straight A-line, and this is a deep swoop, romantic swoop. Lastly, I'm going to show you guys a scallop and how to create swag in the middle, and that will complete this design. Okay guys, so now you guys learned how to do a straight design with straight swags. Now you also learned how to do a more romantic swoop with deep swoops. Lastly, I'm going to show you how to do a scallop, and we're going to create a scallop right in the center. And guess what? We're using the same exact color pattern. We're using the same exact backdrop. We're just going to spin it a little bit to make it look different. Check this out. So all you have to do is release your panels in the middle. So you're not going to take a whole bunch of them out like I told you guys before when we did the other design. All you're going to do is remove your tie backs, and you want to take about the two middle colors out. That's all we're going to remove. That would be the yellow and the green. Now you want to be careful, because when you have several pipe cleaners, you can kind of, you know, get them mixed up and untie the wrong ones. So just be careful of that. Let that green one go. And then you have one other one that we're going to release. But just so we don't lose our blue, I'm going to secure it with another zip tie, just as a security. Okay. So we're going to do the same exact thing on the opposite end. Just take out our sash. Follow the pipe cleaner for the inner colors only. Let that one go. And then the green. Then one more green. Okay, so you're kind of going to keep these two panels intact. You're going to kind of leave them where they are because they're going to remain to the upright. Now, we are measuring just below the 3 foot mark, which is here. So you're just going to kind of bring these babies in the middle, just like this. Good part about draping is once you have your drapes on your unit, you can do whatever you want to do. So to kind of give you guys a little bit of insight, I'm not going to create the actual design, but I'm going to show you exactly how you could do zigzag. You could do whatever you want pretty much. So if you're looking to do zigzag, you just want to take your 2 panels that's in the middle, and you want to cross them, right? That go there. This go here. Then you want to do the same exact thing for the other 2. That go there. This go here. So if you've seen the weave backdrop tutorial or anything like that, you pretty much have an idea of what I'm about to do. So only thing you want to do, again, is just bring this to the upright. You want to kind of leave this space open, which is your negative space, and kind of make the colors pop off of this dark contrast, right? So just bring it over. You want to lift your panel up, not a lot to it. Let it fall in your hand, secure it to your backdrop, right? Just like that. Then you're going to do the same exact thing for your next color. And again, this isn't nothing I was really contemplating, just showing you guys quickly how you can really just have some fun when you're doing different colors and things like that. So you just want to bring this, secure it to the backdrop. Main thing you want to do when you're doing this design is be mindful of your measurements. Whatever the difference is, or the length between these two bulges or knots where you are tied it to, you want to make sure it's the same on the opposite end. So just secure that. Then do the same thing for your last panel. Just kind of let it hang. And again, secure it to the upright. Kind of want to let it hang a little bit. So again, like I said, not really doing proper measurements or anything like that. I just kind of want you guys to get an idea of how you can really have fun with your designs, right? There's no rules in draping. It's like pretty much the only rules is measurements, just to make sure that your units are even. Other than that, it's pretty much let your creativity go wild. Just do the same exact thing on the other end. Lift it up, just let it fall, just like that. Secure it to your upright. Then the same thing for the green. Follow suit. Bring it to where you want it. Lift it up. And if you just so happen, another cool trick I'm going to show you guys. This is what goes to show when you feel like you're stuck, you're never really stuck in pipe and drape. So if let's just say I ran out of pipe cleaners, right? You just want to take your fabric, wrap it around the pole, just like such, to give you a nice little knot. Now, if you don't have a gazillion zip pipe cleaners like me, then it's very easy to run out. So the key to this is to just secure your fabric. This is why, again, I love stretch. It has so much versatility. You could just do so many different things with it. Again, just wrap it around. Now, if you notice, I haven't done any measurements. I haven't checked for any kind of accuracy. This right here is just a tip of inspiration, showing you guys how easy it is to get creative. And how us as designers, when we have to really improvise, this is when all of the magic happens. You know, kind of secure that. No one knows that your unit is tied to the pole. All you have to do is make sure it's secure. Get yourself some bling wrap. And voila. Now there's so much different designs, different things you guys could do when it comes to pipe and drape. I just pretty much showed you guys some real simple, easy designs. Like I said, main thing you want to do is check for measurements, right? Because you want to make sure everything is even. That is what's going to set you apart from the newbies or from the guys that's untrained. Wait a minute. Just make your adjustments. And the key when you're doing a weave pattern, if you guys have that tutorial, have access to that, what you're looking for is dimensions. So if this is, let's just say for the sake of measuring, if this is 8 inches in length separation, you want it to be the same exact thing here. The same thing I told you guys earlier, what you're looking for is negative and positive space. So I should be able to go in and see crisp designs, crisp diamonds when you guys are creating a weave pattern. So I kind of just showed you guys this as a bonus. This isn't really where I was going, but I just wanted to give you some kind of inspiration so you can see how you can develop whatever you want, right? So let's get back to hand. We're just creating a scallop, and just take this tip and do whatever you want to do with it. Okay, so now guys, we again building off the same exact design, right? So now only thing we're doing is creating a middle swag. Didn't change any panels, didn't rearrange anything. We're just creating a different design, right? So I'm giving you guys just different ideas and what you can do when you're trying to create your own designs. So only thing you want to do is you want to stand directly in the middle of your backdrop. And if you measured correctly, guess what? You know exactly where it is. It's where your 2 panels meet. Your 2 panels is in the middle. Wherever they meet, that is exactly the middle of your backdrop. So only thing you want to do, and since this is some easy peasy fabric, it's not a lot of swagging or anything like that. You kind of just want to line your focal points up to exactly where it is on the upright. Since we are not measuring anything like that, like I told you guys earlier, this is where if I was creating this design, let's just say from the beginning, instead of using the slots on the upright, I would use my belly button because I'm creating a middle swag. And if I'm using my belly button in the middle, I'll use my belly button on the end and it would be even. So I'm going to try and get like kind of leveled with the marker over there. And I'm just going to gather my fabric. Now I am going for a deep swag look, like a scallop, which is what we're creating. So once I gather the first panel, now I'm just going to flip around, right? And gather the next panel. And again, you have to stand directly where you want the fabric to come. And you want your pleats, especially in the middle, nice and crisp. So just take extra time to just make sure that that is how they turn out. Then you're going to secure that. Make sure it's rather low. And then you're going to go on to the next panel. Now again, we're looking for the scallop. So you just get the edge of your fabric, bring it directly to your marker, hold it there, secure your marker. Then again, just kind of lift your fabric up because you want it, the object is you want it to fall in your hand. Once it falls in your hand, it's going to create the swags itself. So just kind of let it fall in your hand, just like that. And that's where it creates the swag, or the scallop rather. Secure that because you don't want to lose your fabric. And then continue with your next one. You want to, again, let it fall in your hand and let it naturally do what it's going to do. Now you want to make sure that everything is kind of even, all that good stuff. So now you're going to do the same exact thing on the opposite end. Hold the edge of your fabric, just like that. Raise it up. Let it naturally fall in your hand, just like that. Perfect scallop. Secure it, and then your last piece. Bring it exactly where you want it to go. Close up your gaps. and then lift it up. Let it naturally lay. So once you have it, all your fabric is secure, now you can go in, create any kind of, you know, fix any of your imperfections, anything like that, anything that you see. You want to get your bling wrap, secure it around all of your fabric, and you want to make sure this is tight. And then push down any of the pipe cleaners you see. You definitely don't want those exposed. Now you want to also follow suit on your colors. So whatever is happening up here, you want it to replicate down here. Fix some things around. Create your puddle. And if you remember, I told you guys to kind of kick the access to the back so you don't have a big old bulge of fabric just like in the front of your design. Show all of your colors. Same thing over here. And then finish it off here. Ensure all of your hardware is covered up. You have a nice puddle that's not overwhelmingly huge. And finish up your design. So that pretty much completes the triple swag. So this is a triple swag, and this is what you would call a scallop, simply because it scallops both swags kind of scallop in the middle. And you can use this according to however you want to use it. Is really going for a little more elegant look, create different colors, different textures to really make it stand out. And I can't wait to see this design incorporated into your business. Just be sure to tag Posh Academy, show us some love so we all keep growing together. Stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm Precious Stevens of the Posh Academy, and I want to just take a minute to invite you guys to one of the most coolest pipe and drape proofs that there is on social media today. If you happen to be an event professional that's looking to really create premium pipe and drape so you can attract those higher paying clients that really see the value in your services, then you really need to join this group. There's so many other event professionals or creatives such as yourself that really had nowhere to go when they was trying to find exactly how to do it. They didn't know what to buy. They didn't know where to buy from. And Lord knows they weren't getting any kind of tips on how to get their draping to the next level, which is why I actually created this group, so you guys can have somewhere to not only call home, but really get your questions answered when you're really looking for a solution. Because I actually know how it feels when you're really trying to get or take your business to the next level and you just keep hitting brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. You're asking questions in so many different Facebook groups and either they're getting ignored or they're getting deleted, right? Trust me, I know, I've been there. And I wanted you to be able to go to a place where you not only get your questions answered, but you get actual resources, actual tips, tricks, and tutorials to show you exactly what it is that you're trying to learn. And I'd like to invite you to an amazing pipe and drape learning community that's not only for newbies that's trying to learn pipe and drape, but we service all experience levels and we have something for everyone. So again, if you're looking to really take your draping to the next level, if you're looking to maybe attract a higher paying clientele so you can make more money doing what you love, or maybe you just want to stand out and really create and design backdrops that no one else is really doing. You really want to tap into your own creativity once you learn the technique behind the actual designing of premium backdrops. This is the place for you to go. So click the link below, and I hope to see you guys on the inside.